to share with you a little bit about Innerdance and some of the effects that it can have, some of the amazing benefits that it can bring about in your life, and why I find this modality so powerful and a modality that I keep going back to. It's just, there's so much to explore. It's a modality that I fell in love with, and why I enjoy it so much and why I see the benefit of it is the different aspects of the Innerdance that play a huge role in the participant's transformation. So Innerdance, as a facilitator, there are various aspects to facilitating a class. So for each facilitator, it will be slightly different, but for myself, it is a combination of music that I carefully select. Sometimes the music is spontaneous, and there's music that will be played through that will be all spontaneous, and other times it will be prepared. So there is the playlist. Then there is the instruments, and the instruments are really interesting because the instruments for me is another layer of the playlist. Very often, and I've experienced it hundreds of times now, how a certain instrument can start to awaken energy in a person's body. So I can see the energy waking up with a rattle or a drum or like a singing bowl. These instruments have particular frequencies, and so these frequencies mixed with the playlist then create other frequencies and other sound mixes that it's incredible to see what some of these sounds actually invoke in people. So a part of the Innerdance is to actually trigger you. It's not supposed to be a meditative experience. That is not the Innerdance. So the Innerdance is very, very much a journey of working with shadow and light. It is working with stuff that you maybe don't want to deal with, but actually in the Innerdance it comes up, and you just have this courage, and you have this faith, and you have this trust to actually deal with it and look at it in that moment. And the playlist and the facilitation style really supports that. So it's one of the things that I absolutely love about it. It's very, very important as a facilitator to create a safe space, and it's something that I take a lot of pride in. I make sure that the space is always beautiful, it's always protected, it feels safe, it feels like home, and it's really, really a massive part of actually allowing and supporting people to actually drop their inhibitions, to drop the mind, to drop the ego. And what can come through is these when we are able to generally let go and trust the movements that are coming from within and stop blocking the expression, we are able to come to a type of understanding that might not be logical, but we can sense it, we can feel it. We know that it's true because it's us expressing us. It's me expressing me in my wholeness, in my truth. And it is that truth that allows the movement to come through. So when we allow the body to speak, sometimes it gives shape, sometimes it speaks in symbols that maybe we don't really understand, but something within us understands it. We don't need to understand it. The mind doesn't need to rationalize it. But the movements often have a particular flavor. For some of us, the movements might be quite jagged and harsh because there's so much that is needing to be expressed that's probably unexpressed. For some of us, it can be rage, it can be pain, so much pain. There can be tears that could be streaming through you and you have no idea why. I remember lying right here about a year and a half ago, laughing uncontrollably for about 20 minutes. I just, in a dance, I was a student and I was lying there and but it was like an awakening. It was incredible. I couldn't stop laughing. It was just laughing. But it was coming from this place of such joy within me, such grace, such profound innocence, and I allowed it through. I allowed myself to go there, because it's in the allowing myself to totally go there, to totally express, that is what actually that's what brings the healing. So when we feel something coming up, to invite it to speak, to sound, to move, or to feel it and to just be with it, be with what is there. That's what the inner dance gives space for. It can look like dance, it can look like someone who's very still, it can be sitting, standing, dancing, lying down. It can morph, and it often does. It can morph between lying down to sitting to going down again to up to that. It can morph, and it can have this most, to witness someone finding their truth in the inner dance is a very, very, very beautiful thing to witness. It's often in the hands. There's often a lot of, because the hands carry a lot, and it's often, what happens with the hands is that often in inner dance, it's the first part of the body that starts to wake up for many people. If you are suffering from stress, any anxiety, depression, if you've had abuse, if you have suppressed emotions, if you are unable to sleep at night, if you have insomnia, if you don't know why you're here, this is an incredible modality to work with. It's a powerful, beautiful, safe, and it can be as gentle or as intense as you want, and it will only be that which you are ready for. So I hope to see you in some of the classes. I offer classes in Cape Town, and I also do private sessions online or in person in Hout Bay in Cape Town, or online I am available as well. Thank you, everyone.